The meeting will come to order. The annual town budget meeting of the electors and citizens qualified to vote in town meetings of the town of Guilford, Connecticut will be held at the Green Community Center, 32 Church Street in Guilford, Connecticut on Tuesday, April 5th, 2016 at 7:30 p.m. Could I have a motion to waive the reading of the legal notice? Second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, the motion is carried. Nominations are now in order for a moderator.
I nominate Paul Cello. Second.
Okay, Mr. Cello's. Okay. Those in favor of Mr. Cello say aye. Aye. All those in favor, opposed? Okay, Mr. Cello, you are the moderator.
Good evening. Just want to go over a couple of the regulations. Section 7.3C of the town code says no recommended appropriation may be increased by the meeting, nor may any appropriation be made for a purpose not recommended by the Board of Finance. Any proposed appropriation may, however, be reduced by the meeting to a sum less than that recommended by the Board of Finance. Now, here's a caveat. There must be 300 eligible voters present, and at least 200 have to vote in favor of it. And then you jump up to 7.2 subsection B, and the town meeting action shall be by majority vote of those present, which means if we had 400, you'd have to have 201. Does everybody understand that? And I know this is just an academic discussion at the present time, but it's always good to review it. I'm going to ask who here wishes to speak against the budget? This one here? Sir, would you like to speak against the budget?
Yes, I'm just not in favor of any of the increases in the budget over the last.
All right, well, why don't you come up to the lectern and make your point. Is there, the reason I'm asking is I'm trying to schedule out how we're going to do it, and I always feel that those in opposition sometimes at these meetings never get a fair hearing. So when you come up, would you please introduce yourself and state your address?
Sure, number 27. Eriko Felder is my name, 66 Water Lily Lane, Guilford. Occupation, I'm a mechanical engineer. I work up at the Honeywell facility for 20 years. And I've just noticed that over the last 5-6 years, ever since 2009, the town budgets continue to increase despite everybody else in the town, or not everybody else, but a lot of people in the town not having increases. So what is the rationale, other than the probably mandated salary increases through the education department, what are the extra increases that we're getting, and do we really need them? And if maybe other people can talk to certain items on the list. I don't know, I didn't go through all the items on the list. In general, I'm just opposed to the increase. I just think the town needs to be a little bit more fiscally responsible for the people who are living in the town. And I guess that's my ploy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else who would like to speak against the budget? Now, is there anyone who would like to speak for the budget, or shall I entertain a motion that this meeting, Mr. Howie? You know the drill.
I do know the drill. Matt Hoy, 32 Seaview Terrace here in Guilford. I also have the pleasure of serving on the Board of Finance and have had the pleasure of working with Joe Mazza for longer than either one of us care to remember. I want to speak in favor of this budget for several reasons, and hopefully we won't step on each other in terms of those reasons. I've been involved in this process for a very long time. I believe this is one of the best and most well-crafted budgets, accommodating a variety of factors that would have put this budget in a very precarious position had it not been for what I consider to be 3 or 4 things. As most of the folks know in this community, and if you don't, I apologize for the lecture I'm about to give you, but 5 years ago we had anticipated that this was going to be one of the most difficult budget years in our recent history, and probably our intermediate history as well, due to the fact that this was the year we would see a significant increase in our debt service related to the beautiful new high school that currently sits up on New England Road. Much discussion. Many projections were had 5 years ago when the voters of this community overwhelmingly approved that high school. We all knew that at one point we would have to pay the piper, as the expression goes, which is begin to start paying down for that wonderful facility. That increase was alone projected to be somewhere around a 1.5 to 2 mil increase 5 years ago. What we have tonight is a budget that is a 2.86% increase. We have significantly mitigated the anticipated increases around debt service for the high school in some of the following ways. The Board of Education brought an operating budget to the table of 1.99%, which obviously was well crafted because they have salary contractual obligations and benefit obligations in excess of 2%, 2.25%. So obviously some fine tuning was done on that budget. Additionally, I want to give credit to Joe Mazza and the Board of Selectmen and the department heads in this community for bringing in a budget at 2.5%. Again, we had contractual salary items, benefits, pension, and Joe I don't want to take all your thunder, Joe. But
You're doing good, keep going.
however, bringing in an operating budget of 2.5% was tremendous. We were fortunate to have a couple of other things happen in our favor this year relative to grand list and some, I don't want to use the word creative, but very pragmatic use of refinancing our bonds and the application of some premiums. So my point is that this is a well-crafted, bipartisan effort on the part of the Board of Education, the Board of Selectmen, and the Board of Finance to bring to you, the voters, a responsible budget and mitigating what 5 years ago we thought was going to be a very, very difficult and cumbersome budget. Joe, maybe you want to talk about some of the ways that we got there.
Thank you, Matt, for that. First of all, I want to address the concern that the gentleman before us spoke about. So you live on Waterlily Lane, is that correct? Yeah. Well, one of the items in our budget, and one of the items that has been in our last 2 budgets, has been road reconstruction. And I think you'll be very pleased to, I think I'm talking too close to this, to know that your street, Waterlily Lane, is going to be one of the roads that's going to be completely reconstructed this year. So that's where your money is going. Okay, so I think you're going to be happy about that. Pardon?
So they just chip sealed it about 3 years ago?
Yeah, well, they're going to reconstruct it. And it's because of the efforts of your association who came to me about 4 years ago and said that we had to redo a lot of your roads in that area, which has not far from where I live, and we looked at it and said, yeah, that's true. So we have put a lot of money into road reconstruction. And so when you say, why is your budget, why is your taxes going up? Well, that's one of the reasons, because we're doing a lot of road reconstruction, number one. Number two, like the chairman of the Board of Finance just said, we've just finished building a $92 million high school, which is a state-of-the-art high school. Now, I don't know if you have any children in the school system or planning to go into the Guilford school system, but the school system, first of all, is an excellent school system, and we support it 100%. But not only do we support the school system itself, but we want the best physical plant for that school system. And the voters of Guilford approved the building of that new high school by 85% back in 2011. So now time has come to pay the bill for that school system, for that school building, I should say. And when we first projected what that building would cost us, it was going to cost us about at least $400 more a year to the taxpayer. But because of the financing we have been able to do through our bonding and the creative financing of our finance director and the market of the low interest rate and the way we structured our bonds, we have saved a lot of money. And matter of fact, if we project out the funding of that high school, we're going to save over $20 million over the course of what that school was going to cost us. Instead of bonding it out for 30 years, we're now going to bond it out for 20 years. So, yes, our taxes keep going up, but they're going up at a much lower rate, but you're getting a lot for your taxes, okay? What we're doing also is we're looking at all other areas of our operations. We've closed out the pension plan for our employees, and we've put all our new employees, new hires, into 401s, which is costing the town a lot less money than our traditional pension plan. We've negotiated very hard with our bargaining units in keeping our wage increases as low as possible and keeping them within line to the economic conditions that we now face. There's no longer 4, 5, and even 3% wage increases. Our unions now are getting, I don't think there's any wage increase that approaches a 3% for any of our unions. Our employees pay a much higher rate of contribution to their medical insurance than they did in the past. So what you see now is, and this goes for the Board of Ed too, I'm not even talking for the town. What you see now is a very streamlined government and a very, how should I say, fiscally responsible budget every year, even though you see your taxes go up. Also, I might add, is that we get very little funding from the state of Connecticut. We don't get the funding that the big cities get. And if you've been paying attention, I'm sure you have, the state of Connecticut has been cutting the municipal financing each year. And where does the buck stop? It stops at the municipal level. But we still have to provide the services. When you call for an ambulance, we respond. When the snow falls and we have to plow the roads, we don't cut back on the overtime. The roads get plowed. God forbid you have a fire, we respond. Our students have to still be educated. It costs a lot to run the town. And we take that very seriously. But we do the best we can, and we provide the best budgets as we can. And our department heads do a tremendous job in providing these services. So I think that the budget that we have put forward to the Board of Finance and the Board of Education speak for themselves, but I applaud them on the budget that they've put forward on under a 2%. I think that's tremendous for the education system that they provide, because it's an excellent education system. Guilford is one of the best towns in Connecticut, and for the services they get, the citizens of this town get, and the quality of life, I think it's a bargain.
Thank you, Mr. Mosley. Thank you, Mr. Hoey. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
I didn't get to raise my hand before you turned it from against to for. Can I talk about?
Sure, come on up. It's a town meeting.
You went too fast.
Please introduce yourself and give your address.
My name is Dodi Maillard. I'm number 23, and I live at 13 Dunham Drive in Copper Hill Village. First, it's got to be really difficult to put together this kind of a budget year after year, and I applaud you guys. I love this town. I've been here 2.5 years, and the high school's fantastic. I'm a Guilford Youth Mentor. I'm there every week, and they do great work there. However, my income has not increased this past year, even though some of my expenses have. And I take my budget and I nip it here and I tuck it there so that I can afford what I need to afford while still staying in the same budget as I had last year. I would just like that to happen here, that we stop the increases a little bit and keep it at the level it was last year so we don't get a tax increase. That's all. And I do appreciate all the work you guys do. I know this is difficult work, so thank you.
Thank you. Can we do anything?
Just move. Wait, the speaker's up there, so just move. Yeah.
Oh.
Right there.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Yes? Please introduce yourself and...
I will, yes. My name is Nancy Conover, and my husband and I live on 5 the Meadowlands off of Clobbered Hill Road. We have lived here 19 years, and we love it here, but we're retired. And the mill rate last year went up 3%, this year 2.8. That's 5.8% in 2 years. And that is a lot it's going to be a lot out of our pocket. And we're not going to be getting any increases in salary. So I think, yes, I think we're very fortunate to have a beautiful high school. But I've also heard that the school population is going down. And I don't have the figures on that. So I don't know what exactly that consists of. But I know what we pay in taxes. And yes, I'm very much for education. Our children are out of school. We're helping to help grandchildren go to college. And because our kids say it's almost impossible to send a child to college today for under $50,000 a year and try to go to a public college. What do you think that is? That's $30,000 easily. And as this woman just said in front of me, nobody's getting money, nobody's getting increases. So it's really putting a burden on some people. And, you know, I just think a lot of people don't get increases. And it makes it difficult for their own budget to pay the taxes. So hopefully it will slow down. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to come up and speak? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this town meeting and send the budget to referendum on April 19th. All in favor? Aye. So moved. I'm sorry, any in opposition? So moved. Move to adjourn? All in favor? Thank you all very much.